board member. Good evening and welcome to the Town of Tustin Town Board recess meeting, July 23rd at 6:30 p.m. I'm call the meeting to order and ask you to join me in the pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the
flag,
United States of America,
and
to the
to
republic
the republic
which
which
stands
stands nation under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty.
liberty and justice for
justice
all.
for all.
First on the old business is the award for the town hall roof bid. 6 companies came to the mandatory walkthrough. 2 companies submitted bids. Sealed bids were open July 22nd at 3:00 p.m. The first bid received from Straight Line Roofing for the main bid was $86,000. Item number 1 came in at $70 per. Item number 2 came in at $250 per square feet. Non-collusion was signed, received July 21st at 9 a.m. Second bid that was received was from Kawachi Construction with a main bid of $89,950. Item number 1 came in at $12,500. Item number 2 with $10 per square foot. And non-collusion was signed and received July 22nd at 9 a.m. Is there any question from the board regarding these?
That is for both parts, correct?
Yeah, that we moved item 1 and item number 2 on the last bid were item number 2 and item number 3. We
Okay,
incorporated old item number 1 into the entire bid.
okay. All right, I move that we accept Straight Line Roofing to replace, no, not replace, to refurbish. What am I doing?
How about we just award the bid to Straight Line Roofing as per the specifications of the bid?
I'll second that.
Jill? Brucey?
Yeah, aye.
Brandy?
Aye.
Jane?
Aye.
Jill?
Aye. I'm sorry, I
Yes.
was muted apparently.
That's okay. And I'm an
So-
aye.
Jill.
Jill had a question?
Yeah, the whole deal with what the information we got back from Vanessa, the Reeves. I mean, we rescinded that. What was that amount? I don't remember without going back and looking it up.
It was substantially higher.
That's what I recall, yeah. Hence, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
We have a motion, a second, and a vote. Straight line, I'll start with your paperwork with the town. They're muted. We're just getting you unmuted.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions?
At this time, I don't have any. Does anybody have any questions for me? I'm the owner, Blair Cooper.
Oh, wonderful. When, I have a question. When do you think you can begin work?
That's all laid out in the bid specification.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
We have down on or before August 24th.
Good,
Weather.
maybe the heat wave will go away.
Yeah, that could be a good thing, yes.
I
The
will,
update has- oh, I'm sorry.
there is one little spelling error that Blair had caught, which is my error. It's slate stone gray is the color on the proposal, not fray. So I apologize for that, and I'll be happy to fix that on our end.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask how long you expect to do the job for?
If everything goes well and as planned, honestly, we probably could bring a big crew in there and have it done within 1 week.
Wow,
Thank you.
that'd be wonderful.
The shingle part is honestly only probably a couple of days, and then we have the EPDM flat roofing a day or two, and then of course all the little flashing and odds and ends and stuff to button up. So I would say about 1 week, about 5 to 7 working days, weather permitting, of course.
Thank you.
Is there going to be many road closures on, excuse me, Demorrow Lane that would affect Landers?
No, not at all. We have big black, I could even have myself in the road and keeping it clear at all times.
Okay.
As they're stripping it. They could strip that whole side, believe it or not, in 2 hours.
I was just curious about interfering with Landers at all, that's all.
Oh, no, not at all. No, I'll make sure everybody can get through there, no problem. And we could also keep magnets on wheels, blowers in the road too, to make sure no nails arrive on the road. We'll get all the equipment necessary to keep it clear.
That was a good question.
Yeah,
It was including in our bid, it does state that they must maintain access to the town hall and they must maintain at least 1 lane open on Demorrow Lane at all times with proper signage and traffic controls needed, just so you're aware of it, Bruce.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
If that's all we got, we'll head to item number 2. Conservation Advisory Council.
Okay.
We brought this up at the last meeting that we were going to want to reactivate the Conservation Advisory Council for the purpose of assisting the planning board should they need that. What I think we need to do is maybe allow the town clerk to advertise for applicants for this.
That makes sense.
Well, we'd have to define the job.
Yes, we can do this between this and the next.
You're muted. Why did you mute yourself?
Bringing it up.
Have you guys found the old paperwork from when it was originally thought of years ago?
I did find it.
Ben, keep muting yourself.
You're on mute, Ben. Ben, you're on mute. There you go.
It's like this computer is my wife. It keeps shutting me off.
So wait a second, before we leave number 2, I don't want to ask the question, but who is going to write the job out?
I think what we'll do is, in speaking with the town clerk tonight, we'll pull it out, and then maybe we can have something by the next regular board meeting, which usually is better attended, and then maybe get some more information out for the applicant, people that want to be applicants to it.
Okay,
Yeah, that was my question about if we had the old paperwork on what it involved.
Yeah, we'll go through that, and I'll try to get it to everybody, hopefully by next week. Number 3, any other Conservation Advisory Council comments? Who does? Eric? Somebody in the audience? Iris. Yes, Iris.
I wanted to know whether or not Ice Shield will be used at a standard 3-foot height, or can it be brought up to the ridge?
I believe it's written in there, and with
It's New York State Code states 6 feet, and I believe that that's what's in the bid packet as well.
My question is because Ice Shield is really very inexpensive, and any of the roofs that we have done, we brought them up to the ridge. It's a little extra precaution at very little cost, and that was why I extended that question.
That's a good question.
yeah, bottom 6 feet. If there's nothing else with the Conservation Advisory Council comments, let's move into number 3 regarding the Water District Improvement Project and Bond Council. I've got 2, both recommendations came from Delaware Engineering. One is from Oric and one is from Walsh and Walsh, Joan Bleekamp and Douglas Goodfriend. There is a price difference between the two. Douglas said they base their rates on the amount of the bonding. If we go for the full bonding and we get the full bonding, he estimates it'll be about $25,000 or less. Joan from Walsh and Walsh said they would be about $15,000. I guess one of the things I've found about bonding attorneys, since I've never done them before, is their rates are based on how much bonding we do, which kind of makes sense. And without us having know exactly what we're going to bond yet, it's going to depend on what our fees are going to be. Douglas is a little bit higher than Joan, but the one thing that Douglas does not do is he gives a rate based on it, and then there are no extra charges. Emails, phone calls, we need him to be at a meeting, those are all included within it. Where Joan will break down some of her stuff.
might be hard to get $10,000 worth of phone calls and such, though.
Yeah, I mean, Joan right now is working up for the Village of Hancock with her water department, and I believe Joe had mentioned that she's done a lot of work with Delaware. Douglas, I think, last work, I don't know if it was him or it was his company, last worked in the Village of Liberty with their water.
Can I see her profile again? Thank you.
They've both got extensive work in this particular field. We have nobody within this county that actually is a bonding attorney. That's why one is from Saratoga Springs and one is from New York City.
Where is she out of?
Saratoga Springs.
Mhm.
They, you know, they have both been easy to contact and return calls for, so I would go with the pleasure of the board with this one.
Do we have a price list for the extra things that she will be doing?
No, the bonding attorneys, neither one of them have a price list. They base their price based on how much bond. That's why.
No. She was going to charge like for phone
No, I
calls.
don't have any of that, no.
Okay.
That's why she said it would be around 15,000.
Oh, I see.
Makes sense to go with the one who includes everything in it.
For an extra 10,000?
Only as much as you bond is how much they charge you. Right, that's the way I heard it.
Yeah, he said he'd be no more than 25,000. Joan said she would be 15, or about 15.
Plus the additives, right? Plus the add-ons?
Yeah.
But will there be 10,000 worth of add-ons?
Hard
What
to
is,
say.
that's the question that that Jane asked, you know, about those charges. That's kind of important to see what she would charge for coming to meetings and so on and so forth if she's traveling, etc.
I agree.
Now, in the conversation I did have from Joe, or the email from Joe from Delaware Engineering, he did say that Joan would probably be cheaper than the others that he listed, including Douglas's firm. But, you know, again, we're kind of in an area that we don't know a lot about as far as, you know, how much we're going to be involved in this over the next 2-3 years.
How did he come up with the 25,000? Did you tell him we're probably going to look for,
I gave him what the total bond amount was that we're looking to try to secure, the 7.5.
no, but we're not looking for 7.5. We're only
Well-
looking for 40% of that.
He goes, I sent both of these, everything that we got from Delaware. So they
Uh-huh.
times,
Okay,
yeah,
All
they
right.
got the whole packet that has.
I feel more comfortable if we knew her hourly rate and we could kind of back into $10,000. Sounds like a lot in terms of the difference, and I'd like to save the taxpayers the money here any way we can.
So are you thinking of going with the lower rate that may or probably not go to the 25? Or are you thinking of going with the 25 and not having to worry about the hourly rates?
No, I was thinking about, well, both of them look highly qualified. I'm thinking her estimate is 15,000. We don't know what the hourly rate would be in terms of extras, but $10,000 is a lot of extra. If we could get that figure, it would be a lot easier. Otherwise, I'm inclined to use her.
I'm in agreement with you, Brandy. I'd like to know those numbers.
Okay, well, let me reach back out for her. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get her right now. If you want, we're gonna need to at least start the process tonight. If we want to go with her and we find out that the extras are too much, or that she's going to be more than 10,000 over that, then I would have to probably call an emergency meeting on that. And let me just get back into the email that she sent me. Yeah, she didn't have it in there at all.
you know, like if she's $50 an hour for a phone call, that's pretty cheap. If she's $500 an hour for a phone call, well, then you can get up to 10,000 quickly. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Bruce, you still want to go with the other one because it's all inclusive?
Kind of makes sense, but maybe you'll see what her rates are, but who knows how much this is going to entail too. how much work she's gonna have to do, and it might add up real quick.
Well, she estimated, from seeing what you sent her, Ben, she estimated that the total cost to us would be 15,000, not plus, is it 15,000 plus the add-ons?
You know, I'm gonna let you guys discuss this. I'm gonna give myself a second and make a phone call quick. I got you on here.
The way I read it, Jane, it was 15,000 plus all the, like, the mileage, the meetings, the phone calls, emails, she adds on for all that.
Yeah, I thought that that was it too, until he said that it's all based on the amount that we, let's see. Yeah, this just says what she does.
I mean, I'm thinking she doesn't have to be on site all that much. She's just getting us some, the funding going.
Yeah,
Right.
she's just
Right, she's
securing
getting us
money.
the bonding. It's not like she's doing
Yeah.
the
I'm not an
actual.
engineer,
Yeah, yeah. So to me, I can't imagine there would be $10,000 worth of fees in getting the bonding.
Well, of course, it depends on her hourly rate. Dave Buns, have you had any experience with a bond attorney?
No, I have not.
You haven't. Rats.
Sorry. It's always above my pay grade.
I'm hoping Ben's trying to call her.
Yes, he is.
May I ask a question?
I guess, but sure, ask it.
Is this for only this particular bonding issue? And does that mean that for other bonding issues, if you take one or the other, that there is a particular bonding rate for additional bonding if the town needs it? Has that been explored?
I don't know the answer to
I don't
that.
think
for
we know
sure.
the answer to that. But the person would. I would imagine that this is what was given to them via Delaware engineering. So which is the basic information for the water sewer with the numbers we have,
It's just water.
water.
Which is why I was thinking, does that, because sewer will eventually have to be done too, and perhaps.
That would be separate, I'm sure.
And that might, but is it like hiring a company and this is their retainer? Or is this for specific projects and each project is its own cost?
I think it is specific, but maybe Ben is back.
Yeah, I was not able to get hold of her. Yes, it is specific. There's quite a process through which the bonding attorneys are involved with, because the next thing that we have is a 202B in order to get ready for the public hearing. I've got a sample of what we need just for the public hearing, and it's an 8-page resolution of certifications as far as what we need to do in order to get the bonding. To give you kind of an idea, when I spoke to the attorney for the town regarding this, the reason that there's not a ton of these people out there is because it's kind of like malpractice insurance. That's what they're protecting the town, and they're making sure that we do everything right, because if we do something wrong along the way, the project can be stopped and stalled and shut down. So it's a pretty specialized field for what they're doing.
So when you say that's an interesting point, how do they know if we're doing something incorrectly? Are they coming out all the time, or they're
No.
sending?
This is just as far as, they're working with the engineering company, putting together the specifications that meet the laws as far as 202B goes for our first public hearing. That was something that Joe was talking about on the timeline that we've got also. They're going to be doing a lot of the filing of the paperwork for the state and for the finances in order to get into that 40 or 60% that you're looking to get.
I guess then it's back to that same question. What's included in the 15,000, and when do we have to pay additional?
My conversation with both of them is nothing would start, I don't know as far as the additional goes. You know, she wasn't very clear with that one. Both of them were ready to jump on board and start work, but they weren't, you know, she wasn't clear as far as what the extras would be on that. And to be honest with you, I might have screwed that up because just not by asking her that question.
Okay, you're fired.
Thank you. You're in charge.
You're the deputy, Jane. Are you ready?
No, I'm only teasing. I'm only teasing.
Ben,
Yes.
I don't know if I'm allowed, to speak at this, but who's had the most work with Delaware Engineering? Because having a bond counsel that works with our engineer saves us quite a bit of.
I would say Joan is probably the one because that was the first one they recommended.
I mean, that would save time. They've worked with each other. They kind of know each other. It would save time.
Yeah, I believe they're doing the project in Hancock with them.
Well, I think then you should find out that information, Ben, and then we should have an emergency meeting to make a decision. I personally would lean towards her.
You're leaning towards which one? I'm sorry, Jill? Brucey and Jane? What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I can't really vote on something that I don't understand. I don't understand if she, in her mind, kind of thought about everything that we would be doing, and that in her her a la carte rates, it came up to 15,000, and she didn't expect any more add-ons, or if she's saying my flat rate is 15,000. Plus, of course, she'll have some add-ons. I don't know. I don't know what.
I don't think we're trying to vote here, though, Jane. We're just trying to get an opinion. So that's what I was taking it as. Because I just asked Ben about getting those calls and having an emergency meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to know more about her before we make a decision on either one of them.
Right.
Great.
That's fine. Let me reach out to her tonight and let's get this taken care of. If everybody's available tomorrow, let's get it done tomorrow.
In the morning, first thing.
I'll get
Well, you
hold of
might not be able to get her.
He'll have to let us know what's going on first, so.
Yeah.
I sent one email out to her. I'm just going to see if she's going to get back to me or not.
I leave for work at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
What's the latest you could have a meeting and still get to work, Jill?
I have to be there tomorrow by 2 o'clock. So
Oh, you got to leave by 2 o'clock?
I know I have to leave by 1:15 at the latest. Now, once I'm there, I could go on Zoom on my phone. So for a couple of hours, but not like all day.
I think I should be able to have everything by noon. Does that work for everybody?
I'll be back from work at 12:15. So
Okay, so you want to do 15?
if that's possible for everybody else.
Bruce, what works for you?
That works.
Jill, that would be enough time for you?
Yep.
Jane?
I will be available.
Okay, let's do it that way, and I'll reach out for her again tonight and see if I can't get something. I know she returned my phone call pretty quick, when I've called her, so let me, instead of wasting time tonight, let me do it that way, and we'll recess until 12:15 tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon. Any public comment before we go to closing items? Closing items.
Just me. I guess I'm the only public here. Blair had to leave and he has a job. So on his behalf, I just want to thank you guys all for the opportunity to bid. And we look forward to doing the project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have any other questions? Feel free to email, reach out. We had included the office number and Blair's cell number as well. So we're very reachable.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
I have a question, or not a question, a comment.
Sure.
Perhaps to make a list to ask her what are her travel rates, what are her phone rates, what are whatever you guys feel would be any of the extras, to find out how that works, to kind of make, that would just seem a logical thing from listening to the discussion.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Iris.
Excuse me. I have one question with respect to Douglas Goodfriend. His rate is a flat retainer rate, so it includes his travel, it includes all expenses, no copying, no photo, there's no additional cost that the firm would impose, including paralegals or junior associates working on the matter, correct?
Yes, that's what they told me.
Okay, so her rate, it's the 15,000, I believe you said, for her rate plus additional costs, which are the research and other costs, correct?
That's what we've got to verify, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And does this, I'm sorry, just one other question. It would be through the end of the bond. It would not, does the representation cover any issues post-bond? So if something comes up after the bonds have been issued that arose, just let's say a week after the bonds are issued, something comes up, does their representation extend past that if it was in connection to the issuance of the bond, or is it something that ends upon issuance? And then the town would have to reach additional counsel.
No, it wouldn't end with the issuance of the bond, because we're going to have other things that we need to do with the bond.
Okay. Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn this recessed meeting until 12:15 on July 24th.
I'll second that.
Second by Jill Bruce.
Aye.
That'll be Jane.
Jill?
That was Jane that second.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry. Okay.
Aye.
Jill?
It's all right. Jill's younger. I like to be confused.
Brandy?
Aye.
Jane?
Yes.
I'm a yes. All right, I'll get that, and I will, as soon as I get it, I'll also email it to everybody.
Hey, see you tomorrow.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, Crystal.